Captain Tae-ho Kim rubbed his tired eyes as he stared at the main screen on the bridge of the Baekdu. The ship, named after Korea's tallest mountain, was the pride of the United Earth Defense Force. Today, it raced through the darkness of space toward Jupiter's icy moon Europa. "Captain, we're 20 minutes from the research station," said Ji-woo, the ship's tactical officer. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed worry. Tae-ho nodded. "Any response to our calls?" "No, sir. Nothing but the same distress signal on repeat, 3. Hours ago, the Baekdu had received an emergency call from the Europa research station, then silence. 24 of Earth's top scientists worked at that station. Something was very wrong. "Show me the signal again," Tae-ho ordered. The screen flickered to life. A young scientist with fear in his eyes appeared. "This is Dr. Shin, at Europa Station. We're under attack by, I don't know what they are, not human. They've broken through the outer doors. If anyone receives this, please—" The message cut off in static. The bridge was quiet. First contact with aliens, and it wasn't the peaceful meeting everyone had hoped for. "Weapons ready?" Tae-ho asked. "Yes, sir," Ji-woo replied. "But we don't know what we're facing. We'll find out soon enough." As the Baekdu approached Europa, the white ice of the moon filled their view. The research station was a small dark spot on the surface. "No ships in orbit," reported Dae-hyun, the science officer. "If they came, they're gone, or hiding." "Take us down," ordered Tae-ho. "Prepare the landing team." The station airlock opened with a hiss. Captain Tae-ho led the way, weapon ready. 5 crew members followed, including Security Chief Min-ji Yoon. Their lights cut through the darkness inside. "Power's off," Min-ji said. "Switching to night vision." The team moved slowly through the entrance hall. Tables were flipped over. Papers scattered across the floor. A coffee cup lay broken, its contents frozen in the cold. "Signs of a fight," Tae-ho noted. But no blood. They checked room after room. Lab equipment was smashed. Personal items lay where they had been dropped. But there were no bodies, no scientists. "Captain," called Dae-hyun from the main lab. "You need to see this." In the center of the lab, a small round device sat on a table. It was clearly not human-made. Its metal surface had a strange purple glow. "Don't touch it," Tae-ho warned. "Think it's some kind of message," Dae-hyun said, scanning it with his tools. "It's giving off a signal." Suddenly, the device lit up. A beam of light shot upward, forming a 3D image in the air. The image showed a creature unlike anything they had seen before. It had 4 arms and a wide head with 3 glowing eyes. When it spoke, the words came out in broken English. "Humans, we have taken your people. They are not harmed. They are specimens now. Good specimens. If you want them back, you must pay. We want rare metals from your world. We want your new drive technology. You have 10 Earth days to decide. We will contact again." The image vanished, leaving the team in stunned silence. "They're holding our people for ransom," Min-ji said, her voice hard with anger. "Gather everything you can from the station computers," Tae-ho ordered. "We need to know exactly what happened here." Back on the Baekdu, the crew worked fast to recover data from the station. Sujin, the communications specialist, studied the alien message. "I've analyzed their language patterns," she reported to Captain Tae-ho in the ship's meeting room. "They've been listening to our broadcast for years. That's how they learned English, but they don't understand us very well." "What do you mean?" asked Tae-ho. "They think this is normal," Sujin explained. "In their culture, taking people and asking for payment might be just business. They don't seem to understand that to us this is an attack." Engineer Hyun-woo added, "The station sensors picked up their ship briefly. It's technology we've never seen. Some parts seem very advanced, but others are strangely basic. It's like they pieced it together from different sources." Tae-ho turned to the screen where Admiral Han Sung-min from Earth Command was waiting. The Admiral's face was grim. "What are your orders, sir?" Tae-ho asked. "Captain Kim, Earth's position is clear," said Admiral Han. "We do not negotiate with hostage takers, human or alien. Your mission is to find our people and bring them home. Show these aliens that humanity will not be threatened. Yes, sir. And Captain, added the Admiral, this is now more than a rescue mission. This is humanity's first military contact with an alien species. What happens next will set the tone for all future relations. Make it clear that taking our people was a serious mistake. After the call ended, Taeho turned to his crew. We need to find their ship. Any ideas? The alien device is still sending out a weak signal, Dae-hyun said. I think it's meant to help them find it again. We could follow that signal back to its source. Do it, ordered Taeho. For 3 days, the Baekdu followed the faint signal through the outer solar system. They moved quietly, using minimal power, to avoid detection. Finally, they found what they were looking for. Captain, we've got them, Jiwoo announced. Large ship, unusual design, just beyond Neptune's orbit. On the screen, they saw the alien vessel for the first time. It was bigger than the Baekdu, with a strange shape like a giant starfish with extra arms. Life signs? Asked Taeho. Many, confirmed Dae-hyun. Not all of them match the aliens we saw in the message. Some readings could be human. They're just sitting there, Minji observed, waiting for our answer. Taeho stood up from his chair. His face was set with determination. Prepare a message, video and audio. I want them to see my face when I respond. Minutes later, Taeho stood before the camera. He wore his full captain's uniform with the Earth Defense Force emblem on his chest. Send it, he ordered. The message was short. Captain Taeho Kim looked directly into the camera and spoke clearly. To the aliens who took our people from Europa Station, I am Captain Kim of the Earth Defense Force. I have a simple message for you. We have received your demand. Here is our answer. Humans do not pay ransoms. We do not give in to threats. Taking our people was the worst mistake you could have made. We are coming for them. You have 2 choices. Return our people immediately, or face the consequences. There will be no third option. The bridge crew watched as the message was sent toward the alien ship. For a long moment there was silence. Then multiple lights began flashing on the alien vessel. It was powering up its engines. They're moving, reported Jiwoo, heading deeper into the outer system. Follow them, ordered Taeho. But keep your distance. I want to see where they go. Sir, said Sujin suddenly. They're broadcasting something. A response. The alien's 3-eyed face appeared on screen again. This time it looked agitated. Its words came through the translator. Humans not understand. This is how things work. You pay. You get your specimens back. No pay. Specimens stay. With us. Simple business. You will change your mind when time runs out. Captain Taeho's expression didn't change as he gave his next order. Send a message to Earth Command. Tell them we've found the aliens and are in pursuit. And add this note for Admiral Han. Dear aliens, we don't do ransom payments isn't just our answer. It's our promise. The Baekdu followed the alien ship into the darkness, hunting those who had dared to take their people. The rescue mission had begun. For 2 days, the Baekdu followed the alien ship at a safe distance. The strange starfish-shaped vessel moved deeper into the outer solar system, beyond Neptune. Captain Taeho ordered the crew to stay in ghost mode, using minimal power to avoid detection. In the ship's science lab, Dae-hyun Lee worked day and night studying everything they knew about the aliens. He barely slept, his eyes red from staring at screens for hours. Captain, I have something, Dae-hyun called over the comm. You should see this. When Taeho arrived at the lab, Dae-hyun pointed to a display showing detailed scans of the alien ship. Look at this, said Dae-hyun. Their ship isn't built in one style. It's made from different pieces. The outer hull has at least 7 different metal types. The engine parts don't even match each other. Taeho frowned. What does that mean? They're scavengers, Dae-hyun explained. They take technology from other species. Some parts of their ship are more advanced than anything we have, but other parts are simple, almost primitive. So they steal technology instead of developing their own, Taeho said. Exactly, and I think that's not all they steal. Dae-hyun pulled up more data. Based on the way they talked about our scientists as specimens, I believe they collect life forms too. The captain's face grew hard. They see us as things to collect. Yes, and there's something else. Dae-hyun showed a map of stars. I've been studying their communication patterns. They've sent signals to this region of space. I think that's where they come from. How far? About 20 light years. Not too far, but still beyond our current travel range. Tae-ho nodded slowly. Keep working. I want to know everything about them. Their strengths, their weaknesses, anything we can use. In the communications center, Soo-jin Kang hadn't left her station for over 24 hours. Empty coffee cups surrounded her. She worked to understand the aliens' language and data. When Captain Tae-ho checked on her, she looked up with excitement in her tired eyes. Captain, I've broken into some of their data transmissions, she said. I still can't read most of it, but I found something interesting about how they think. Tell me. Soo-jin pointed to translated text on her screen. In their culture, taking hostages and asking for payment is normal business. They call it specimen exchange. They've done this many times with other alien species. And these other species paid? Yes. Every time. Soo-jin looked up at Tae-ho. We're the first to say no. Tae-ho thought for a moment. So they don't understand why we're angry. No, sir. To them, this is just a deal that hasn't finished yet. They expect us to pay because everyone else always does. Well, said Tae-ho with a grim smile, they're about to learn that humans are different. On the bridge, Ji-woo suddenly sat forward in her chair. Captain, the alien ship is slowing down. Tae-ho returned to the bridge quickly. Show me. On the main screen, they watched as the alien vessel approached a small dark object far beyond Neptune's orbit. What is that? Tae-ho asked. A dwarf planet, answered Dae-hyun, who had joined them on the bridge. One of the outer solar system bodies. Very small, no official name yet. Just a number in our charts. As they watched, part of the dark surface of the dwarf planet seemed to open up. The alien ship moved inside and disappeared. They have a base, Tae-ho said quietly. Right here in our solar system. Hiding in plain sight, added Minji. No one looks this far out. Tae-ho turned to his crew. Full scan of that dwarf planet. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with. For the next several hours, the Baekdu carefully circled the small world, staying far enough away to avoid detection. Their sensors mapped the surface and what lay beneath. Captain, you need to see this, Dae-hyun called, his voice urgent. The science officer displayed a 3D model of the dwarf planet with a large hollow area inside. It's not just a base, he explained. It's like a giant underground hangar. And there are at least 6 more ships in there, all different designs. Life signs? Asked Tae-ho. Many, replied Dae-hyun. Over 300. But here's the strange part. They're not all the same. I'm detecting at least 20 different species based on biology readings. The crew looked at each other in shock. They're keeping them all there, said Soo-jin. All their specimens from different worlds. Tae-ho's eyes narrowed. Including our people. In the ship's engineering section, Hyun-woo Choi had been analyzing the scans of the alien base. Captain Tae-ho found him surrounded by holographic displays of energy readings. Hyun-woo, tell me you have good news, said Tae-ho. The engineer looked up with a small smile. I might, sir. Their base has strong shields, but I found a weakness. What kind of weakness? Hyun-woo pointed to a specific area on the display. Their shield technology is different from ours. It blocks physical objects and most energy weapons. Very well. But it has a blind spot to certain radiation frequencies. Can we use that to get inside? Yes, said Hyun-woo. I can modify one of our shuttles to be invisible to their sensors. A small team could slip through during their shield refresh cycle. How small? No more than 6 people. Tae-ho nodded. Good work. Start the modifications right away. In the ship's meeting room, Captain Tae-ho gathered his senior officers. On the main screen, Admiral Han joined from Earth Command. We've located the alien base, Tae-ho reported. It's on a dwarf planet beyond Neptune. They have our scientists inside, along with many other alien species they've captured. Admiral Han's face was serious. How many hostiles? At least 100 of the aliens we've identified, possibly more. They have multiple ships and strong defenses. Too many for a direct attack, said the Admiral. Yes, sir, but we have a plan. Taeho outlined Hyunwoo's discovery and the idea for a small team to infiltrate the base. It's risky, said Admiral Han, but we need our people back, and we need to send a message to these aliens. Agreed, sir. I've dispatched 3 more ships to your location, the Admiral continued. The Hala, the Jiri, and the Siorak. They'll arrive in 48 hours. Wait for them before you make your move. Yes, sir. After the call ended, Taeho turned to his team. We have 2 days to prepare. Minji, you'll lead the rescue team. Choose your people. The security chief nodded. I want Junho for combat, Yunha as medic, and Daehyun for tech. Good choices, said Taeho. I'll be the 5th member. Sir, Minji objected. You should stay with the ship. Taeho shook his head. Not this time. Our people are in there. I'm going in. No one argued further. They all knew that look in their captain's eyes. While we wait for backup, we keep studying the enemy, Taeho ordered. I want to know everything about their routines, their weapons, their weaknesses. We get one chance at this. What about their ransom demand? Asked Jiwoo. The deadline is in 5 days. We'll give them our answer in person, said Taeho. Prepare the shuttle and equipment. When our backup arrives, we move in. As the meeting ended, the crew returned to their stations with new purpose. The ship hummed with activity as they prepared for the mission. In his private quarters, Taeho looked at the picture of the Europa research team that had been taken just before their mission. 24 bright minds who had gone to study one of Jupiter's moons, only to become the first humans to meet aliens. The first, but if Taeho had anything to say about it, not the last. We're coming for you, he whispered to the picture. And when we're done, these aliens will understand exactly why humans don't pay ransoms. The 3 Earth ships arrived right on time. The Hala, the Jiri, and the Siorak joined the Baekdu in the darkness beyond Neptune. They stayed far from the dwarf planet, hidden behind one of Neptune's smaller moons. On the Baekdu, the rescue team made final preparations. Min Ji-yoon checked her weapon for the 10th time. Next to her, Junho Baek loaded extra ammo into his pack. Nervous? He asked Minji. No, she replied. Ready? Captain Taeho entered the shuttle bay with Daehyun and Yunha, the team's medic. All 5 wore black combat suits designed for stealth. One last briefing, Taeho said, gathering them around a holographic map of the alien base. We enter here during their shield refresh cycle. According to our scans, the human life signs are in this section, which we believe is their lab area. What about guards? Asked Junho. Unknown, admitted Taeho. We'll have to deal with them as we go. Our priority is finding our people and getting them out. No heroics, no unnecessary risks. Engineer Hyunwoo approached, carrying 5 small devices. These are signal jammers, he explained, handing one to each team member. They'll hide you from the aliens' internal sensors, but they only work for about 2 hours, so move fast. What's our extraction plan? Asked Minji. Once we have our people, we signal the fleet, Taeho answered. They'll create a diversion by attacking the main hangar entrance. During the chaos, we take our shuttle back out the same way we came in. Yunha checked her medical kit. And if our people are injured? That's why you're coming, said Taeho. Treat what you can on site. Anything serious waits until we're back on the ship. The captain looked at each member of his team. Any more questions? There were none. Then let's go get our people back. The Yar modified shuttle moved silently toward the dwarf planet. Its engines had been adjusted to emit no heat, and its hull was now covered with a special coating that absorbed radar signals. It was nearly invisible to both eyes and sensors. Inside, the team sat in tense silence. Hyunwoo's voice came through their comms from the Baekdu. Shield refresh in 30 seconds. Be ready. Taeho nodded to Junho, who sat at the controls. The combat specialist's hands were steady as he guided the shuttle toward a small crater near the south pole of the dwarf planet. Refresh starting Now, said Hyunwoo, you have 45 seconds. Junho pushed the shuttle to full speed. They dropped quickly toward the surface, aiming for the crater. At the last moment, the ground beneath the crater seemed to shimmer and disappear, revealing a narrow tunnel leading down into darkness. We're in, Junho reported as he guided the shuttle into the tunnel just before the shield closed behind them. The tunnel was tight, barely wider than the shuttle itself. Junho flew with incredible precision, keeping the small craft centered as they descended deeper into the alien base. Landing zone ahead, whispered Dae-hyun, watching the scanner. No movement detected nearby. The shuttle touched down in a small, dark chamber. The team waited, listening. No alarm sounded. Activate jammers, ordered Taeho. Each team member pressed their device, which glowed briefly, then went dark. Move out. The corridors of the alien base were dimly lit with a purple glow. The team moved silently, following Dae-hyun, who tracked the human life signs on his scanner. They passed several doors with strange markings. What do they say? Whispered Taeho to Dae-hyun. Not sure exactly, the science officer replied. But based on Sujin's translation work, I think they're labeled by species. These aliens are very organized about their collections. They froze as a sound came from ahead. Two of the three-eyed aliens walked around a corner, talking in their strange language. Minji and Junho raised their weapons, but Taeho signaled them to wait. The aliens passed by a side corridor without noticing the humans hiding there. Once they were gone, the team continued. We're close, said Dae-hyun. Human life signs just ahead. 24 of them, all in one area. They reached a large door with more alien writing. This one was guarded by a control panel. Can you open it? Taeho asked. Dae-hyun studied the panel, then pulled out a small device. Yes, their tech is advanced, but their security is basic. They clearly don't expect visitors. He worked for a minute, then the door slid open. Inside was a large laboratory. Clear containers lined the walls, each one holding different alien creatures. And in the center of the room, behind a glass wall, were the missing scientists from Europa. The humans looked tired but unharmed. They sat or stood in a large clear enclosure that resembled a giant fish tank. Some were talking to each other, while others wrote in notebooks or stared into space. Taeho approached the glass. One of the scientists looked up and saw him. His eyes widened in shock. Taeho put a finger to his lips, signaling for quiet. Dae-hyun, get them out, ordered Taeho. Junho, Minji, watch the door. As Dae-hyun worked on the control panel to the enclosure, an older scientist approached the glass. He had gray hair and wore a lab coat with Dr. Young-ho Shin on the badge. Captain Kim? He mouthed silently. Taeho nodded. We're getting you out. Just then, alarms began to blare throughout the facility. Red lights flashed in the corridor. We've been discovered, said Minji from the doorway. We need to hurry. The glass wall slid open and the scientists rushed out. Dr. Shin approached Taeho directly. Captain, you need to know something, he said urgently. These aliens, they call themselves the Voraks, they're studying us, looking for weaknesses. We can talk later, said Taeho. Right now we need to move. No, you don't understand, insisted Dr. Shin. They don't just collect for ransom. They study species before they attack their worlds. They're planning something bigger. Before Taeho could respond, the sound of running feet came from the corridor. Junho turned to the captain. Company coming. Get the scientists to the shuttle, ordered Taeho. Minji, Junho, and I will hold them off. Dae-hyun and Yoon-ha began leading the scientists toward the back exit of the lab, which Dae-hyun's scanner showed would lead them back toward their shuttle. Meanwhile, Taeho, Minji, and Junho took positions near the main door. They didn't have to wait long. A group of 6 Voraks rushed through the door holding weapons that looked like short staffs with glowing ends. Junho fired first, dropping 2 aliens before they could react. Minji took down another with a precise shot. The remaining 3 Voraks took cover and returned fire. Glowing energy bolts hit the wall behind Taeho, leaving scorch marks. Fall back, Taeho ordered. Toward the shuttle. They retreated step by step, providing covering fire as they went. More alarms sounded throughout the base. As they turned a corner, they found themselves face to face with the largest Vorax they had seen yet. This one had more elaborate clothing and extra tentacle-like limbs extending from its sides. Behind it stood 4 more armed guards. "The commander," whispered Minji. The large Vorax spoke, its 3 eyes glowing with anger. The words came through, broken and strange but understandable. "Humans, you reject fair business. You attack us. Why?" To everyone's surprise, Junho stepped forward. He had been working with Sujin on learning basic Vorax phrases. In halting alien language, he replied, "We don't pay ransoms. We come and take what's ours." The Vorax commander seemed stunned by hearing its own language. In that moment of confusion, Minji fired her weapon at the ceiling. A section collapsed, blocking the corridor between them and the aliens. "Run!" shouted Taeho. They sprinted through the corridors, following the path back to their shuttle. Ahead, they could see Daehyun and Eunha helping the last of the scientists board. "We need to go now," Taeho called into his comm. "Signal the fleet." Just as they reached the shuttle, a massive explosion rocked the entire base. The diversion had begun. The Earthships were attacking the main entrance of the Vorax base. "Everyone in," ordered Taeho, counting as the scientists boarded. 22, 23, 24. That's all of them. The rescue team jumped in last. Junho rushed to the controls and fired up the engines. The shuttle lifted off as more explosions echoed through the base. "Hold on," Junho called as he guided the shuttle back up the narrow tunnel toward freedom. The shuttle raced up the narrow tunnel. Behind them, parts of the ceiling began to collapse from the explosions. Junho's hands moved quickly over the controls, keeping the small craft centered in the shrinking passage. "The shield," Daehyun warned. "It's closing above us." Taeho grabbed the comm. "This is Captain Kim to all ships. We need that shield down now." Outside, the Earth ships focused their fire on the shield generators. The Baekdu, Hala, Jiri, and Seorak hit the alien base with everything they had. Inside the shuttle, everyone held tight as Junho pushed the engines to maximum. The end of the tunnel appeared ahead, a small circle of stars visible beyond the flickering shield. "Hold on," Junho shouted as he aimed straight for the weakening shield. The shuttle burst through, just as the shield failed completely. Pieces of it sparked and fizzled around them as they shot into open space. "We're clear," Junho reported, his voice filled with relief. Cheers erupted from the rescued scientists. Some hugged each other, while others simply sat in shock, unable to believe they were finally free. "All ships cease fire and prepare to withdraw," Taeho ordered over the comm. "Rendezvous at Neptune's moon Triton." As the shuttle approached the Baekdu, Taeho looked back at the dwarf planet. Smoke and flashes of light were visible from the damaged alien base. But already, he could see movement. The Vorax were preparing. Their ships. "They'll come after us," he said quietly to Minji. She nodded. "Good." Once safely aboard the Baekdu, the scientists received medical care. The rescue team joined Captain Taeho and Admiral Han, appearing via hologram, in the ship's meeting room. Dr. Young-Ho Shin, the lead scientist from Europa Station, was also there. "First, let me congratulate you all on a successful rescue," said Admiral Han. "All 24 scientists recovered with minimal injuries. The mission was a complete success." "Thank you, sir," replied Taeho. "But we may not be done. The Vorax will likely pursue us." "I'm counting on it," said the Admiral with a grim smile. "It's time they learned who they're dealing with." Dr. Shin leaned forward. "Admiral, Captain, you need to know what I learned while in captivity. The Vorax are a scavenger species, but they're more dangerous than they appear." "Go on," urged Taeho. "They follow a pattern," explained Dr. Shin. "First contact, then specimen collection, then study. They look for weaknesses, biological, technological, psychological. When they find these weaknesses, they exploit them for a full-scale invasion." "How do you know this?" asked Admiral Han. "They kept records of previous species they encountered. I could access some of their data terminals. They don't hide their methods." In their culture, this is normal. Dr. Shin's face was serious. They've done this to at least 7 other worlds. The room was quiet as everyone took in this information. That changes things, said Admiral Han finally. This isn't just about rescuing our people anymore, it's about protecting Earth. Sir, said Taeho, I suggest we set a trap. The Voraks are pursuing us, but they don't know about our newest weapon systems, the ones we've kept classified. Admiral Han nodded. I agree. Take position near Triton. I'll send the authorization codes for the prototype systems. 2 hours later, the Earth ships waited near Neptune's largest moon. Their sensors detected 5 Vorax ships approaching rapidly from the dwarf planet. On the Baekdu's bridge, Captain Taeho watched the alien vessels appear on the main screen. One was much larger than the others, clearly the command ship. They're sending a message, reported Sujin. The 3-eyed face of the Vorax commander appeared on screen. It spoke in its broken English. Humans. You have stolen our specimens. You have damaged our collection facility. This is unacceptable. Surrender now or be destroyed. Taeho looked to Admiral Han, who had joined them via hologram on the bridge. The Admiral nodded. This is Admiral Han Sung-min of the United Earth Defense Force, the Admiral replied formally. You entered our solar system without permission. You attacked our research station. You took our people against their will. These are acts of war by any standard. The Vorax commander's eyes blinked in what might have been confusion. This is business. Normal business. All species pay ransom. Not humans, said Admiral Han firmly. You've mistaken our peaceful exploration for weakness. Allow me to correct that misunderstanding. This is your only warning. Leave our solar system, now or face the consequences. The Vorax cut the transmission. They're moving into attack formation, reported Ji Woo. Weapons charging. All ships activate prototype defense systems, ordered Admiral Han. Prepare to engage. Across all 4 Earth ships, panels slid open to reveal weapons that had been kept hidden until now. These were the latest advancements in Earth's defensive technology, developments that had been classified at the highest level. They're firing, warned Jiwoo. Energy beams shot from the Vorax ships toward the Earth vessels, but before they could hit, a shimmering field appeared around each Earth ship, absorbing the enemy fire completely. Shields holding at 100%, reported Jiwoo with a smile. Return fire, ordered Taeho. Target their weapons and engines only. Disable, don't destroy. The Earth ships fired their new weapons. Precise beams of blue energy hit the Vorax vessels. Instead of explosions, the alien ships suddenly went dark, their systems failing. Direct hit, reported Jiwoo. Their power systems are offline. All 5 ships disabled, added Daehyun. No life support failures detected. They're alive but helpless. Admiral Han nodded with satisfaction. Begin boarding operations. I want those ships secured. Min Ji-yoon led the boarding teams onto each Vorax vessel. With their power systems down, the aliens offered little resistance. Earth forces moved quickly through the ships, securing the surprised Vorax crew. On the command ship, Minji found the Vorax commander surrounded by its guards in the main control room. The large alien watched in shock as human soldiers entered from all sides. Your ships are under our control, Minji told the commander. Your base is damaged. Your plans have failed. The Vorax commander's 3 eyes blinked rapidly. How? Humans, our new species, should not have such technology. Minji smiled coldly. You made a serious mistake. You judged us only by what you could see. You never considered what we might be hiding. Back on the Baekdu, Captain Taeho and Admiral Han received word that all Vorax ships had been secured. What happens now? Asked Dr. Shin, who had joined them on the bridge. Now, said Admiral Han, we make sure this never happens again. 2 weeks later, a Vorax diplomatic vessel approached Earth's orbital station. Inside the station's meeting room, Captain Taeho and Admiral Han waited with representatives from Earth's government. The Vorax diplomat who entered was smaller than the commander they had faced. It moved cautiously, clearly uncomfortable being surrounded by humans. We come to discuss terms, the diplomat said in much better English than they had heard before. No. corrected Admiral Han. You come to hear our terms. The meeting was brief. Earth's demands were clear. The Voraks would remove all their bases from the solar system, release all captive species in their possession, and sign a treaty promising never to return. And if we refuse? Asked the diplomat. Admiral Han's face was stern. Then the boarding teams on your captured ships will begin to study your technology more thoroughly. Perhaps we'll become the collectors, perhaps we'll visit your homeworld next. The Vorax diplomat's three eyes widened in alarm. We accept your terms. As the meeting ended, Captain Tejo approached the diplomat. Before you go, I want to make sure you understand something. Yes? Humans don't do ransom payments, we never have. If you or any other species threaten our people again, our response will be the same. Remember that. The diplomat nodded, its tentacles trembling slightly. After the Vorax left, Tejo joined Admiral Han at the station's observation window. Together they watched as the diplomatic vessel departed. Do you think they've learned their lesson? Asked Tejo. Admiral Han smiled. I think they've learned that humanity isn't like the other species they've encountered, and that's a good start. Below them, Earth shone blue and green against the blackness of space. For now, it remained safe from alien threats. And if others came, they would find humanity ready. Because when it came to protecting their own, humans didn't make deals with hostage takers. Humans didn't do ransom payments. They did something much more effective. They showed the galaxy exactly why that policy existed in the first place.